Welcome to Business Focus, a production of the Greater Reston Chamber of Commerce. I'm your host, LJ Wilson, and today we have Epi Petrie. She's a realtor with Move with Epi. Ms. Petrie is going to talk to us about the real estate business, about being a realtor in the Reston area. Thank you for coming to Business Focus.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm really happy to be here.
So, Epi, tell me about yourself.
Well, let's see. I'm from here in the area. I actually went to Langston Hughes into South Lakes, so that's really great. When I was in high school, my second year, we moved to Italy. My parents were in the military and stayed overseas for quite some time. I was on a government contract for about maybe 12 years, and I was in human resources and relocation coordination. And of course, how everything goes, contracts end, and it's time to come back home. So when I did come back, I wanted to make sure that we came back to the Reston area just because I'm absolutely in love with it. My family is still here, so I kind of felt like this was my home. And I thought, right now, I have the opportunity to do a career change since I had a severance. And with that, I decided that maybe real estate was something that I really wanted to go into. I had a really good friend who has a lot of the same personality traits that I do that I worked with, and said, hey,
Which must be amazing.
Yeah, well, thank you. And said, this might be something that you'd be really interested in doing. So I did a little bit of shopping around, and I found a really great team that I started off with. I was with Coldwell Banker, and I had joined the Go team, which comprised of Barbie Oschlager, who we're still on the same team right now, and we were based in Fairfax. So just as of June, we went ahead and switched over to Keller Williams, and we're in Vienna. And it is now Move with Epi and Move with Barbie, and that's really kind of how I started off.
And one of the questions I was going to ask was, how did you get started in real estate? How did your interests move to real estate?
Well, I kind of stayed within the same parameters with relocation, and I really like working with people, and I honestly wanted to start working for myself. I had been working in corporate for 12 years, and I kind of felt like I wanted to take the reins and make that leap of faith and do it on my own. And I have never looked back, and I absolutely adore what I'm doing, and I'm having such a great time. Wow, it's a lot of work. It really is. It's a lot of work, but really at the end of the day, it is so incredibly rewarding to know that I have complete control of how I spend my day personally and on a professional side. So this has been an incredible experience.
Now, what are some of the unique properties in Reston that often get looked over?
Some unique properties in Reston. A lot of people think that there are most of the homes in Reston are very expensive, or they have a lot of fixing up to do and a lot of renovations to do. But there are a lot of little gems, and there's so many different little pockets of Reston that are very affordable, and there are also ways to take that home and turn it into either if it's going to be your starter home or you're going to use it as kind of like an investment home. There are so many ways and in so many different opportunities to get into these neighborhoods and really make it your own.
How do you make your client's experience unique? Because I know you from the chamber, and you are always smiling. Yeah. Do you bring that into the experience with Epi?
Yes. My biggest thing is I want to be your family realtor.
Yes.
I don't want to be your realtor, and I don't want to be the realtor that buys your home and sells your home and you never hear from them again. I really believe in building a relationship and making sure that every single one of my clients or potential clients feels that I am giving them a custom experience and making sure that I really tailor to what their needs are. And to me, it doesn't really matter if you are what price point you're in. I believe that everybody should be treated equally, and everybody should be treated like they are that multi-million-dollar listing, because really at the end of the day, that's what you are. you know, and it is incredibly important to build that relationship and to make everyone feel that they're special, because this is a huge thing, buying your home or selling your home.
It's a very huge thing.
You're giving a lot of your trust to somebody else.
Absolutely.
So I think that is incredibly important to let them know that for whatever it is that they're going to be going through, that I'm there from them from the very beginning until the very end, and then after that, I'll continue to be there for them. So that is my goal, and that is really what I want people to experience when they work with me.
So name 5 reasons why people should be looking at Reston to have a home here.
Oh, wow. 5 reasons. I can name a bazillion of them.
Well, go on. You can go bazillion if you like.
Well, you know, there are so many opportunities here in Reston. Gosh, Reston has changed. It has evolved. It is so dynamic and it is so diverse, and there's so much to offer here. I mean, we have the Metro, which, you know, 10 years ago, I would never have thought it was actually going to be right here. And we have a direct line into DC, which is, wow, amazing. And it makes that commute if you're working in DC or if you're working, you know, anywhere that you would normally have traffic and you're thinking, I don't want to go all the way out this way. It's just so easy. Reston is a fantastic community, and they are very, very much community-based, family-orientated based.
Very much so.
You can walk around Reston. It's got that metropolitan feel in some areas, but it's still got that very small family where you can recognize your neighbors.
Exactly.
And you walk with your neighbors and you work with your neighbors and you talk with your neighbors, and it's just got a really, really great feel to it. We've got some amazing schools here, and this is just really a great, great place to be.
So with that in mind, I know you have some memorable stories from selling homes. Can you tell me 2 stories from your selling home experience?
Oh, wow.
Things that stand out.
From the latest one that we had just had, true story, 1 week before closing. Remember when we had that really great, the rains that had come through?
Yeah.
Well, 1 week before closing, found out that the basement flooded in the home that we just purchased.
Oh, no.
And oh my gosh, what are we going to do? So thank goodness that the selling agent was fantastic. We were able to work together and go ahead and get that taken care of, and we were able to close on time. However, what my biggest take on that was, the reason behind all of it was we had a sump pump that was not plugged in. And there was a team that came in to do some mitigation work, and they forgot to plug the pump back in. And unfortunately, we ended up having rains that week, and it ended up flooding. But to me, something that I took from that was, make sure when you do your walkthroughs that you check everything and make sure that everything is plugged in and things are working properly, because oh my goodness, what would have happened if it were a week later and we closed, and then we ended up having those rains again?
God.
And it would have flooded.
It would have flooded one way
in
or
your
the
brand
other.
new home. And whose fault is it? You just don't know where it would lie. So that's one. So definitely that was one for the books and one to remember. Make sure that you do a really, really good, thorough walkthrough and document everything. And oh gosh, a second one. I had a friend who came in from Germany and helped him purchase a home for he and his family.
Yes.
And this really meant a lot to me.
Personal.
Because it was very personal, and they had just gotten married, they had their kids here, and they were looking for the perfect home, but really couldn't find the one. And then they thought, well, you know, maybe we're just going to go ahead and settle for the one that just checked off all the boxes. And I thought, this is so disheartening. And I was really hoping that, you know, the next home that we walked into was going to be like, wow, this was going to be it. And, you know, it took some time. We took a break, which was sometimes you do need to take a much needed break. Again, like I said, this is really an emotional time.
Yes.
And it can become very daunting when you feel like you're not finding the right one, and if it's
Very
not
true.
there, or you're in situations where you're having multiple offers and yours is not the one that's being picked up,
You can
it
feel
can
that
cause a lot of
pressure.
tension, and you can feel a lot of that pressure. So we took a break, started back up again, looked around, found one house, walked into it, and the look on my friend's face and his wife's face really made me feel like, okay, this is really why I want to do this. I'm doing the right thing. And they fell in love with the home. We were able to make an offer, and everything went through perfectly. And then it was another reaffirmation for me that this is something that I like to do. I like helping people. I like making a difference, because this really, it really is something that not a lot of people get to do.
No.
So yeah.
With that in mind, no, but seriously, since you grew up in Reston, well, some of your growing
Yeah.
up was in Reston, does that make it an easier process selling homes here?
I think that yes and no. Reston is an easy place to sell a home.
Because everyone wants to be here.
Yeah, but having grown up here and also being able to see how Reston has changed from a distance,
Yes.
and then coming back, I have an appreciation for Reston that, to me, I think might be a little bit different.
From someone else.
And it lets me be able to relate to some of the people who are coming in from somewhere else, and I can give them a little bit more information as to how it's changed, what it was like before, what it is now, what's going to happen. And in my excitement of living here, I think kind of rubs off on my potential buyers, because I really, really promote here. I think that this is just a fantastic place to live.
Well, there's no reason why the home buyer should not be trying to move with Epi. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Epi, I want to thank you for joining me today. If you're interested in learning more about having Epi as your real estate agent, please visit www.movewithepi.com. Again, this is Epi Petrie. She's a realtor with Move with Epi, and I'm your host, LJ Wilson. Thank you for watching Business Focus.